Well, hello everyone. My name is Josh Frank with RSM Federal, and I've got Scott Semple with Sales Native with us. And we're going to be talking about the National Veterans Conference. We're going to be talking about what makes it different. We're going to talk about how do you prepare for the conference? What do you do while you're at the conference? And then what do you do once you get home after the conference? First of all, Scott, how you doing, sir?
Very good, Josh. Thank you very much. It's a great opportunity to chat a little bit about one of our favorite topics, the VETS conference.
This is the number one national conference for veterans that work in the public sector. So, what makes it so different from all the other national conferences that are out there?
Yeah, it's a great question. Every conference is a little different. They have a different spin. It might be vertical industry focused. It might be very technical. The VETS conference specifically was designed to impart a tremendous amount of information. What do we mean by that? It's a training conference. From the moment you arrive at our 4-day event until the moment you leave, this all starts well before you go to the event. The whole time that you are at the conference, there are opportunities to engage, to learn, to expand your knowledge, and to ensure that you wind up having a very successful event. In this context, the VETS conference is primarily focused to help you grow your business.
Yeah, I can't overemphasize what Scott just said. It is not simply a networking event; it's a business development event. At this point, we've got over a dozen federal agencies, military commands. They're not just attending, they're speaking. General sessions. I want to say 20% of all the breakout sessions are going to be government buyers and decision makers as well. So we have a short period of time here. Let's jump into the how do you prepare to attend VETS, the National Veterans Conference? What are your top recommendations?
Josh and I both have a lot of great ideas on this topic. It's certainly a favorite key issue. This is an event that you really do need to do your homework on prior to the event to get the most out of it. What does that mean? When you go to the VETS conference, you want to ensure that you understand three things in my mind. One, what are your business development objectives? Why are you going? Are you trying to pursue a particular contract or a particular set of opportunities or an agency? Is it a zero focus like that? Two, it might be that you are there to network and share capabilities of your company with other peer companies in the context of teaming. And third, it may be very clearly your objective to learn from the speakers, who many of whom are industry experts and agency experts. But you're only going to do that if you are properly prepared by reading through the entire event, thinking about where those opportunities are for you to connect and for you to learn, and have notes. So to me, prior conference planning really comes down to the research you do and the clarity with which you define your objectives. Does that make sense, Josh?
Yeah, no, it does. And let's make this more tactical, especially for those folks that have it's their first year attending, or maybe even
Yep.
their second or third. What Scott just said is really important. When he said look through everything, pull the attendee and the exhibit lists now, not the week before the conference. Scott said, identify your targets, those agencies, those primes, those sponsors that you want to meet, and reach out to them before the conference, right? Whether it's email, LinkedIn, phone, lock in at least 2 or 3 meetings. We both agree if you don't have at least one meeting scheduled before you get on the plane, you've cut your ROI already in half.
Absolutely. Josh is talking about preparation, and it absolutely comes down to understanding who is going to be there as an attendee. You have availability through the attendee portal. You have availability of all the attendees, all the speakers, and you are able to connect with those individuals. You have to do that. Josh, the
Mhm.
worst thing is when I talk to three people from the same company, and it sounds like they work for three different companies.
Oh my God. Every time. Yes.
Company has to have a good, concise, 90-second, 60-second pitch. This is who we are. This is what we do. This is why we want to meet with you. A couple last thoughts there. Make sure you have your business cards in a form where they're presentable.
Scott, you and I keep saying very similar things. We're saying them in a little bit different ways. You moved into the on-site engagement. What do you do when you're on site? So for all of you that are going to be attending, your objective is not to pitch anything. Your objective at a conference like this is to collect intelligence that will make you more competitive when you get back home from the conference. And so when you're talking to folks, this is for the agencies and government contact, ask about their programs, their challenges, their priorities. Let them talk.
Yep.
If you're doing all the talking, Scott, you're not collecting information that's going to make you more competitive. So you don't want to be the one talking. And then we've all heard this many times, don't lead with your socioeconomic status.
Correct.
People don't need to know that you're, 8A, woman-owned, veteran-owned, service disabled. That will come later. And yeah, most of the meetings that you have are going to be with companies, right? Not necessarily the government. You'll have some, and that's fine. That's by design.
Josh reinforces a very important point, which is you're coming to not a 4-day event. You're coming to a 144-hour event. What do I mean? From the moment you show up until the moment that you leave, you have the opportunity to engage with all sorts of speakers, all sorts of fellow primes, subcontractors, agency people. That's where the planning comes in because you can meet with people at breakfast. You can meet with people in a session. I love the people that literally come into the event and they have little maps. Day one, I'm going from here to here to here to here to here.
Right. Yeah.
They have the map of the exhibit hall floor, right, with literally hundreds of vendors, okay? And they have circled the 8 that they are going to hit. And then, you know what's funny? Those people go like pinballs, bing, bing, bing. They just go around the floor. Guess what? Those people walk out with great information.
And that's a great point on the exhibit hall. I didn't mention this. Yes, you're going to attend various general sessions because a lot of govies are going to be talking at those. Yes, you're going to be attending various breakouts, some led by govies, government folks, and some by industry, right, for training. Everyone should plan on at least a half a day doing what Scott you were just talking about, walking the exhibit hall, hitting everything, but making sure you know which companies you really or agencies you really want to talk to.
Absolutely. Folks that go there with a purpose, they have a very successful event. The other part of the VETS conference that's a little unique is we do have a matchmaking opportunity. You need to apply through the VETS website. You need to apply to be a part of that segment of the program. And you need to pick specific companies that you want to meet with. I want to meet with this large prime. So preparing separately for the matchmaking event, that's absolutely critical. 15, 20 minute, what are you going to accomplish in 15 or 20 minutes? Boy, Josh said it right up front. Hi, I'm Scott Semple. I'm an SDVOSB and an AA and a hub zone. You haven't told me anything, right? Hi, I'm Scott Semple, and we do these 3. We are the best company on the earth for river dredging in the Mississippi River. We are the #1 firm for CMMC certification. Whatever you do, you need to be extremely clear and it needs to be consistently stated.
For those of you that are new to this conference, the match networking or the speed dating, as a lot of us like to call it, they go quick. Like as soon as it opens up, all the core government folks are pretty much taken within a matter of hours. And so you've got to make sure that you are watching the website, that you know exactly when the speed dating is going to be opening up so you can register. That brings us into the topic of the app for the conference. Can we talk a little bit about how important that app is?
So the app is actually a very sophisticated app. It's very well organized. It's very intuitive. It's on your phone. The important aspect of the app is that you don't show up at the conference and go, "Hey, how do I download that? Hey, no,
Yeah.
have it on
Yep.
your phone." Okay, it's the eShow app. Have it on your phone. Make sure you understand it. Make sure you know how to navigate it.
Make sure your photo is uploaded. Make sure your short bio has been uploaded, right? These are things that you can do before you get to the conference. Let's jump into the final piece of you've walked the exhibit hall. You've identified before you got to the conference which breakout sessions you're going to attend. You've identified, those 4 or 5 government folks you want to speak to and the 4 or 5 companies. All of this is decided before you ever get to the conference. You've done everything you were supposed to do. Now you're on the plane. What do we do to follow up? We always tell folks, draft your follow-up emails before you even leave for the conference. Stage them within 12 hours of the conference ending. I have sent a note to every person that I spoke with.
And you'll probably hear the NVSBC CEO, Mr. Scott Jensen. Well, he's a Marine. He's a Marine colonel, so he's sort of got some rules. He's got really good rules, and you'll probably hear him more than once say, you better be collecting 5 business cards a day. Unless he's upped his challenge and maybe it's 8 business cards a day. I don't know what it is. He's honest about that. Josh is absolutely spot on. You have to be responding to those people.
I'm going to just close on my side, and then Scott, maybe you got a little thing to close. The companies that win the business, they're not the ones with the best booth. They're not the ones with the most cards. They're the ones that did the work before they arrived, and they had real conversations while they were there, and they followed up with discipline.
Absolutely. The VETS conference has become the nation's largest conference for the veteran and other small business community. Probably one unique aspect of that I have found. Veterans have a unique behavior. They're all in the foxhole together. If you ask a direct question, you're going to get a direct answer. Why can't I get on this doggone contract? Hey, how do I get a hold of this person? You'll get straight answers. Expect that. So as we've said throughout this conversation, be prepared, sign up for matchmaking early, resist the temptation to have that 14th drink at the bar on the evening. You don't want to come in the morning in detox
Right.
form. You want to come in the morning in good, ready to go form at 0700 and or 0800 when the event starts. And we wish you a very, very successful event.
Scott, it was a pleasure working with you again. And everyone else, we will see you at VETS.
Thanks so
Thanks.
much.